Yes, sirs. What is going on, Pacer Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice Pacers. And the Pacers win in dramatic fashion at home in Game 5, winning the series 4-1 against the Milwaukee Bucks. Cody, this was a wild game of epic proportions. Starting with this game, the Milwaukee Bucks actually had a 13-0 lead starting out through the first couple minutes of this game. Certainly didn't leave a lot to be desired. Pacers fans probably feeling very disgruntled early in this matchup. And even at its latest point, the Milwaukee Bucks even having a 20-point lead at the early part of the second quarter. And yet somehow, some way, the Indiana Pacers, they found a way to come back into this one, Cody. They hung around and somehow, some way win this game.
Oh my gosh, dude. Talk about just a dramatic win. What a way to end this series, too. I mean, it's been full of emotions, Derek, from the start. We've known about this, right? There's been so many emotions from both sides. Even in this game, you saw the emotions. And, in a big game like this, the Pacers coming out looking slow. Fans, I saw, Derek, fans were not happy. It's like, guys, this is literally one of the biggest games in a long time, and you come out looking like that in the first quarter.
Right.
You come out getting blown out in that first quarter to a Milwaukee team without Damian Lillard and the team that you just dismantled a few days ago in Milwaukee, and you're just like, what in the world happened, right? But like you said, Pacers came back. They made it a game, and it was so back and forth. I mean, Derek, we were talking about it off air, man. Like, there was a time where we're like, this game's over. Like, there's no way the Pacers are going to be able to come over that. Especially when you see with like a minute left, they're down by what it was like 5 or 6 at that point, and you're like, it's going to be real hard with the way that they're shooting right now to be able to finish this and actually secure this victory. But man, shout out to freaking Tyrese Haliburton for number one, sending this game into overtime. Number two, the game-winning shot in this series to end this whole thing. It's and a game where your two starters, your two stars, were not playing well. Tyrese comes in, is clutch when it matters. So shout out to freaking Tyrese, man. Big players make big time plays, and Tyrese is that guy. So absolutely shout out to him. What a freaking end to that game, dude.
Yeah, man. Shout out to this whole freaking team, man. In a game in which the Bucks were practically beating you, Cody, in almost every statistical category, where it just was not a good game for you in the slightest. To be able to win in this kind of environment is insane. And it's so great for the Pacers fans that, came to watch this and got to get to go home tonight just with the biggest smile on their faces, knowing that the Pacers had their worst game of the entire series. In all honesty, Cody, I could argue from a statistical standpoint, this was a worse game than the one that they lost against the Bucks earlier in the series. But, they still found a way to win this one. Of course, no love lost between these two teams because there was no love for each other. The amount of animosity from these two teams towards each other, insane, man. I don't know if you saw like some of the videos, Cody, afterwards, Mathurin and Giannis getting after it, which led to both teams kind of getting into a shoving match. Giannis actually got into a verbal altercation with Tyrese's father on the sideline afterwards. Like literally Giannis looking down on Tyrese's dad, their forehead to forehead, literally shouting at each other. Like, wow. Talk about, I'm sorry, what a bunch of I'm just going to say it. Like, holy cow, the amount of classlessness and animosity from the Bucks of all people. Because it's so funny. Like, their fans love to say that, oh, the Pacers talk crap only when they're up. It's like, yeah, when do you expect to talk crap? I'm sorry that you're okay with your team talking crap when you guys have lost pretty much the entirety of this series. I'm okay. That's okay if you want to be like that, but that's not normal. Okay. So, I mean, it is hilarious just how sore losers all of them were. I'll tell you what, though, Cody, it makes for one heck of a fun series to watch, though.
Yeah. Seriously, dude, the drama never ends. I felt like we were back in middle school at times. It's just like it's middle school pickup basketball game at this point. It's ridiculous. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, Bucks do a lot of talking for literally winning one game this entire series. It's kind of wild. But yeah, I mean, even in a game where you knew the Bucks were going to give you your best, like their absolute best, because they were on their last leg. And Derek, like teams are the most dangerous of the teams that have nothing to lose, and that's where the Bucks were, right? So yeah, I mean, shout out to the Pacers for weathering the storm here. That comeback was obviously insane. And even down the stretch, I mean, Derek, how many times last year would the Pacers not finish these tough games like this? Yeah. And you just see the signs of maturity from this young team, being able to bounce back, being able to continue to roll with the punches. I just got to give them a shout out for that, man. I mean, I think that playoff experience, we've talked about it before, that playoff experience was super valuable for them a year ago. Now they know that they are never truly out of any game, right? They can do whatever it takes. They can come back. And especially when you need to win. I mean, winning teams make winning plays, Derek, and the Pacers made the winning plays tonight when it mattered the most, despite, like you said, playing like garbage, especially right out of the gate, and having to make that giant comeback. I mean, shout out to them, man, because yeah, this was a game this was kind of one of those potential trap games. It's hard to say trap in the playoffs, but you know what I mean? Like, it's a game that everybody expected you to come out and win, especially after how you dismantled the Bucks in Milwaukee a couple nights ago, and that wasn't the case. So it's crazy just how things can change in the matter of a couple days here. But a win's a win, man. And like I said, 4-1, Pacers in 5. That's probably about as good as you could expect here in the playoffs. So you'll take that absolutely. And I'll be so intrigued to see who they do play in round 2. Could we be seeing another rematch here coming up against the Knicks? I'm not sure yet, but we'll have to see on that. But yeah, man, what an emotional series. Feels like it's been about a month long, this series. It's just been back and forth with everything. But yeah, when it mattered the most, man, I'm glad to say Pacers came out with that win in the series. And how fitting is it with all the trash talking we heard about Tyrese Haliburton from Bucks fans, and just you heard all the stuff about, people calling, anonymous players calling Tyrese overrated and all that BS. How ironic is it that he is the one that makes the shot to send the Bucks home?
Well, it was funny because, you could argue Tyrese was one of the reasons the Bucks were, catching back up in the fourth, because he kept trying to shoot the three when it wasn't falling. But I just want to say this. There were multiple times I don't want to hear anything from Bucks fans saying anything about having any excuses as to why they lost this game other than they were at their own fault. I mean, literally, there were multiple. You were up by 6 with 1:20 left in the fourth quarter, and you still couldn't close the deal, and you let the Pacers tie the game to send it into overtime. And then in overtime, you were up by 7. You were up by 7 with 37 seconds left, and yet you still lost. I mean, don't say anything other than y'all choked it. That is what it is. Now, just to go over some of the numbers here, like I said, largest lead for the Bucks tonight was 20. They were in control for the majority of this game. Field goal percentage-wise, both shooting around 46%. Shot much better from 3 than the Pacers did, 47.5% to 36%. Free throw percentage, neither team was great from shooting from the free throw line tonight. Pacers were out-rebounded by 8. The Bucks had 1 more assist than the Pacers did. One of the only things, Cody, that the Pacers did better than tonight was actually the fewer turnovers. and were able to actually get the points in the paint, which was crazy enough to think about. So as far as individual performances tonight, every starter for the Milwaukee Bucks tonight played over 44 minutes. Giannis and Portis with 44. Gary Trent played every minute tonight. Kevin Porter Jr. only sat out 1 minute tonight. And AJ Green only sat out 2 minutes tonight, Cody. So that's crazy too, because you look at the starters for the Indiana Pacers, Cody, Miles Turner had the most minutes tonight and had 43 minutes. So the highest starter for minutes for the Indiana Pacers had less minutes than the lowest starter for the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. So definitely crazy to say the least. And I mean, like we said, Cody, at the top of this was not a great day shooting the ball or just getting any kind of rhythm going for the Indiana Pacers. Siakam, off night, 10 points on 40% shooting, had 4 rebounds. Wasn't a great night for him offensively. Very odd to see that. Aaron Nesmith actually with one of the better performances of the day. 19 points with 60% shooting. Actually had 12 rebounds, so had a double-double today. Miles Turner, 21 points on 40% shooting, 9 rebounds. And Nembhard, 15 points on 35% shooting with 6 rebounds and 6 assists. Tyrese Haliburton, big star of the day, 26 points. Did not have a great shooting day, but came in clutch when needed. Had 5 rebounds and 9 assists. Had 3 steals and 3 blocks too, Cody. So Tyrese, maybe the most active that we've seen on the defensive end from Tyrese Haliburton in total in any point this season. TJ McConnell, 18 points in 17 minutes, shooting 70% from the floor, 3 rebounds, 3 assists as well. So, of course, we have to give our love to TJ McConnell, right? Because that dude's just a firecracker. So, what stood out to you tonight?
Like you said, just an off night shooting from your stars, and yet you still, when it mattered, you pulled it off. And like you said, shout out to a couple guys there. Nesmith, obviously a big one. Tyrese on the defensive end. TJ McConnell as well. And yeah, I just think overall, it's nice when you're able to weather the storm when your superstars aren't always playing the best. Like, it's so nice to be able to have the guys that can step up in their absence, when they're not playing the superstar level that you expect night in and night out, right? So, yeah, that just goes to shows. And honestly, Derek, like, it's crazy to me, and this might be something like kind of crazy that I'm saying here, but am I just crazy, or had the Pacers not played their best basketball at all in this series? Like, I feel like they haven't hardly played. Like, they've had a couple games where they've looked really good. I feel like they can still be better.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this game, obviously, the game where they lost to the Bucks, yeah, certainly. I mean, I think there were several times, like in the first 2 games, I felt like they played pretty decent basketball. But yeah, you're right. Games 3, 4, and 5 certainly weren't great. You're going to need to, do something, because obviously the next opponent you got is one of the best teams in the NBA this year, and you're going to need to do everything you can to get past them.
Yeah. No, for sure. You got to figure out a bunch of things out. But I even think like that first game, like they played well. I still felt like they could have played better, So like, I'm just like, if they can actually all be on the same night, like what can happen? What could actually happen if they're all like more consistent in the second round? That's what's exciting. But they got to do that, and you can't be having these off nights from guys like Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Haliburton shooting wise and stuff like that. You got to be more efficient, and you need your bench to continue to play well. You just can't have those nights, and you're fortunate that the Bucks are as injured as they were at times, Derek, because if not, who knows how this series could have gone there. But yeah, overall though, you'll take it, man. You'll take the win. I mean, just another valuable experience here, and for the Pacers, and just excited to see what happens in round 2, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's it, guys. The Pacers advance on, and they will face the Cleveland Cavaliers in the next round of the NBA Eastern Conference playoffs. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Let us know your thoughts on this series and how this game went down. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, go Pacers.